The fridge doors have been a big mystery since the very beginning of the game. Speculations rose, theories were made, but none of them seemed to explain the hatches properly. I decided to attempt digging through this myself, gather all information I had and make my own ultimate theory on the fridge doors. And honestly, I think I solved it. Today, we're going to dig deep into the fridge doors, and explain the deal behind them. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. To those who don't know, the fridge doors, or hatches, are white doors on the ground in certain locations on the map that make strange noises and glow in the dark. Theorists on YouTube have come to multiple conclusions with the doors, but the most popular theory belongs to Northena. In Northena's video, they explained that the fridge doors make a perfect star symbol once aligned on the map.
And yes, we do have. Look, the placements of the doors almost create the star, which can be seen on the doors.
The northern door being absent and unreachable. Here, I would like to also quote a theory from Eleanor Nightwalker, where she says that the second symbol displayed on the hatches spells out GED, if looked at from the right angle, along with the letters DC.
I noticed that if you look closely, it could spell out GED.
During the night, the fridge doors glow in a very bright yellow light. All of them do. Now, I'd like to revert back to Starshine Legacy, a game series made by the same developers in 2005, explaining the backstory of the Soul Riders. During the 4th episode, the one where we play as Alex Cloudmill, we go to a secret dark core building, where Mr. Sands and his henchmen protect a very important book with the Pandorian Codex. Alex steals the book and zaps Mr. Sands and his goons, before quickly escaping. The building is located in the sea, and the Soul Rider can enter through using a pipe that extends to the beach. Before the player can control Alex, we get a cutscene. In it, the camera flies upwards and reveals the hidden place where Mr. Sands rests. 4 lights glow, imitating a star symbol. The 5th light is turned off though. I believe this is an important clue to the fridge door theory, and I managed to connect it in a way, but I'll explain more on that later. We know that Dark Core, as a company, expresses interest in oil, as proven by the fact that they own an oil rig. Now for GED, the situation is pretty much similar, if not the same. If you ride to the Everwind fields, you can see a GED site. In the area are multiple pipes that spew out oil on the ground. We even had quests, where the veterinarian notices that the Silverglades fountain ducks went missing, and we find them in Everwind fields, covered in oil. Eleanor Nightwalker mentioned in her fridge door theory that one corner of the star is the exact coordinates of the UFO crash site.
I noticed something. This inner corner is the exact coordinates of the UFO crash site. And in case you haven't noticed, it does have the same soundtrack as the fridge doors.
We know from the books and concept art of Sabine, that all Dark Riders are not human, and use humanoid disguises to walk around Jorvik freely without being exposed. Since Fripp and the Druids arrived in a starship, and crashed somewhere near Jorvik stables, I believe the UFO is something that belongs to the Dark Riders. We even get to see Garnock and the ship in Galloper Thompson's race during Halloween, if we look closely. The starship was carrying Garnock, as revealed by Fripp himself, which means that the ship we see in the race is definitely meant to be the same ship. It's possible that the Dark Riders are from Pandoria or some other outer space that we don't know about. I believe that Mr. Sands has so many employees in his wicked company, because they're not human, either. More like robots, as shown by one character in Winter Riders, that looked like a goon, and was literally acting and speaking like a robot. In a version of the game, the man is called Human Robot. I don't think this is just any coincidence, is it now? Dark Core has switched drastically from what it was decades ago, from a normal company to a true villain group that wants to unleash a horrible squid-like creature called Garnock. And will do everything to accomplish that. I don't think they would be getting any employees with this company description now, would they? If the human robots, or the so-called goons, weren't built by hand, they could have come from a different dimension, from that UFO specifically. I believe that the Dark Riders entered Jorvik through the big yellow portal in the oil rig, but that's just my speculation. We know that Mr. Sands was able to have direct contact with the Dark Riders once they arrived, as shown in the books with Katya. Exactly after she arrived, Mr. Sands himself asked her about what alias she chose this time. Back to GED now, as there is also something interesting about this company as well. During the Baroness racetrack renovations, Mr. Campbell jumped at us and ruined the fun, threatening that he owns this land, and can take down the racetrack if he just wished to. Ms. Drake steps in to shut him down, though, showing odd behavior such as, well, being nice. It's not a common thing for her to be this nice, as she takes care of Simon and just leaves, telling us that she won't halt the celebrations any longer. I believe her attitude is caused by the fact that she knows what's deep underground, and wishes for it to be kept a secret between GED and Dark Core. Mr. Campbell having papers confirming that he owns Jorvik's land is quite a clue as well. We'll connect the clues together very soon, right now I'm pointing out the evidence. There's also more clues in the sound that the fridge doors make. I decided to come up close to them one day, and listen into the noises closely. Immediately, I recognized the sounds. In the Starshine Legacy files, there's a peculiar file called Creepy Stuff S, which sounds like a voice whispering inaudible words. It is used in Episode 3, although hard to hear, and has no story relevance whatsoever. The fridge doors make a very similar sound, with heavy filters and effects applied to make it sound different, which fooled many players and theorists alike. I attempted to find the sound, in hopes of finding a clear version of it in the files. I tried every single keyword I could think of, referring to the fridge doors. Hatch, fridge, door. No results that were of interest popped up. Until once, by complete accident, I found the exact sound file the fridge doors were using all along. The sound wasn't what I hoped for, though. It was the same noise that played in Star Stable. What's really important, though, is the file name this sound went by. Machine G Oil Drill. I've compared the sounds in-game to the sound that went by that name, and they were the exact same noise. The fridge doors have a unique sound, not used anywhere else in the game, which means the file name is also an important clue that we will have to keep in mind for later. Now that we got all the evidence collected together, let's sum it up into a big theory. I believe that the fridge doors are gigantic underground mines, created by GED with help from Dark Core. Both companies are known for collaborating together in various ways, discussing profit share, and so on. Dark Core sent out some of their workers to collect oil for machinery, and then shared it with GED, hence why Ms. Drake was seen discussing how much profit she gets with Darko in a quest. Mr. Campbell has papers that say that he owns a part, if not the entire land of Jorvik, which allows him to do this underground. Ms. Drake was acting all nice during the quests with the Baroness racetrack, because she really wishes to keep this a secret between the two companies, and stepped in right before Simon Campbell could speak about it out loud and reveal what they have been attempting to hide for so long. That's why the machines in the GED sites never run out of fuel, always are in perfect condition, and why the oil rig Dark Core owns is still fully operative, with the company being pretty much shut down as a normal company by this time. The fridge doors are actually entrances to the mines, spread out the entirety of Jorvik, so the workers can easily exit or enter the mine. I believe they also own a lot of drilling machines inside, hence the fridge doors' questionable sounds. The oil is needed for various reasons: to keep the machines that collect it running, to keep the oil rig owned by Dark Core stable, and many more uses. The companies have been starting to work on the mines as early as when the events of Starshine Legacy took place. The northern door is inaccessible, because it was flooded in an accident, making it unusable by workers alike. Steve mentions in a quest that he sometimes hears drilling, deep underground, and since the star formation goes through his farm, the theory still stands. The mine is spread so much to avoid being spotted while entering or leaving via the entrances. Some are hidden in thick bushes and trees of hollow woods and Greendale, some are right in the open fields, and one in particular is, well, hidden behind high mountains of North Link. Furthermore, mine entrances in real life mostly resemble an entrance to a tunnel, which explains the big hole in the locked area where the fifth and last door is meant to be, according to the star symbol and everything we've gathered so far. The hole is very deep and very large, with some water still left on the very bottom. Miners of GED and Dark Core could have started a collaboration to bury this particular entrance with rocks or walls, maybe wood or machinery, so that the water doesn't leak through into the mine, flooding the entire thing. The water might have come from the dam, shown in Starshine Legacy Episode 2, and in the books, as suggested by a friend of mine. The extremely bright yellow light from the fridge doors might be either lights from the machines, lamps, or something else. Venturing into the exact center of the star shape reveals a dot made of dirt, extremely close to the GED drilling site. When Ms. Drake exchanges a few words with Darko, she demands a lot more percentage shared to her and GED, probably because she's kind of greedy, and also because the company has to keep the machines at Bear Point running as well as the drilling stuff going on in Epona, near Crescent Moon Village. GED needs a lot more oil than Dark Core, as they do a lot more drilling than them in current times. They agreed to develop this mine with Dark Core, as they have a lot more experience with mines, and have a lot more employees willing to cooperate with the plan and go along with it, and since we discussed earlier that they could be robots, or supernatural beings, they most likely don't need rest. Unlike GED employees. While Mr. Sands is absorbed with all the Garnock stuff, along with the Dark Riders, he sends out his robots to work and collaborate with GED, follow their instructions, and so forth, and all he demands in return is 40 to 50% of the oil produced underground by GED and his goons. So there you have it, the fridge door mystery has finally been solved once and for all. I'm eager to hear what you guys think about it in the comments below. I'm going to try to read all of them. If there's anything you wish to add to this theory, feel free to do it. I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching, see you next time.